Today I thought I'd do some more advanced diagnostic of my Hikoki batteries. I'm not promising I will fix anything because Hikoki seems like a real big messy battery system. But I finally get my Hikoki charger and it turns out almost none of my batteries wanted to charge. However, I split them into 4 different groups because the charger had 4 different lights. And now these are the lilac ones where it complains about the temperature being too hot and too cold. Like really, you should be complaining about something else. And then we have the blue ones which actually start charging, and then we have the green when it pretends the batteries are fully charged when they are not, and then we have the red when it pretends something else is wrong. So I will compare all of these batteries and try and figure out what those error messages mean and if any of them relates to the cells and if any of them can be fixed. So let's start with the lilac ones. I have that called CC, color charge, and V is voltage, C plus voltage. That needs to be the same voltage as the battery for it to want to take a charge. 15.4, and I will just write equal to, meaning that the C plus is equal to the discharging port. 5.6, 5.6. Oh, it lost 1 volt since I measured it last week. The blue ones, 19.5. This one was 18.8 volt last week, now it's 12, but all of those are equal. And then we have the green one, 19.25, 19.25, 13.26, 13.26. And then we have the red one, 14.4, 14.4, 18.0, 18.0. So everyone is on except for one that is just 6 volts. So then let's go to the temperature probe and measure the resistance. So let's start here. TX, nothing. Nothing. And this is a blue, the one that did want to charge has nothing. 1 mega ohm. Nothing. 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 We had one more. And this one, number 8, is also 1 mega ohm. And then we have the voltage, which is not voltage. It's not the same, so it's not measuring the exact voltage from the battery either. So I believe we should go for resistance. 45K. 45K. This sounds more like a real temperature sensor directly connected. Everyone seems to have 45K. No. Number 8 has 25K. 45K. 45K. And then we have LS. Well, there are some information about the Hikoki terminals on some forums, especially a Russian one. It's probably not a temperature sensor, but rather it communicating its type via different types of resistance, probably on how fast it wanna charge. LS might be the temperature resistor. LD is for load, stop or start signal. But I have so different stats on all of them. The T was X on one and 1 mega ohm on another. Both of the V's were 45K, but the LD were 32K and 7 mega. I don't know what to do with this information. For indicator, first 4 X and the other were the first 2 and last 2. So let's start with opening number 1. Let's see if we can figure out something about what these signals are doing, what they are for, and why 6 of 8 don't want to charge. I don't think it's because of the dirt, but it clearly doesn't help. And this is a multivolt, so it has 2... oh, it's so disgusting. 3.1 is okay. 3.1, 3.1, 3.1, almost 3.1. So everyone was okay at the top layer. Check the bottom one. 3.8, 3.8, 3.7, 3.7. Do we have a dead one here? 4x 3.8 plus 1 dead. And that was a lilac one. And then let's go for number 2. Here we had only 6 volts on the terminals and it was down to 5 volts now after sitting for a week. Come on, don't be unclean. Oh, pretty decent. 3.1, 3.1, And we seem to be having another dead cell group. 1.67, right. And another dead. And another dead. Under the blanket, millivolt land. Millivolt. Nothing. 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 And let's verify the pack voltage. 1.4 in total. Yeah, so a lilac light isn't really positive. It seems to indicate dead cell groups, or really dead cell groups. 3 which was a blue, but that was charging for a little while, but only a little while. And 4.0, so the top is good, but not the bottom. Dead. Dead. Or no millivolts. Dead. Nothing. Let's try and verify that. Nothing on the whole pack. But it still might be working as an 18 volt battery, but it could hardly be a 36 volts battery again. Number 4. Top row 3.1, 3.0, 3.0. Jesus! I was short-circuiting that one and that cell. It started to smoke. Scary stuff. 2.9. That might be my fault. Completely dead. Okay. 590 millivolts. Millivolt. 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 And these were the good ones. The one that wanted to charge in the charger. Have a completely dead bottom part. Yeah, don't like the quality here. But I will try and do a cell replacement and see if it works, but I don't think I'll have time today. It's Sunday. I'm just here saying hi to all my batteries. And this one had indicator flashing 2 lights. Yeah, have to measure this one as well. But the top row was okay. We have 19 volts. Yeah, let's say 3.9. So now this one is interesting. It's the first where all the cells are okay, but it's flashing error 14. It's green on the charger indicating full, but it's just 19 volts. And it doesn't have anything on T, 45k on V, 7 mega on LD. So if I had a way to discharge them, this would test the charger, because maybe Hikoki doesn't want to charge more than 19.5. Even though that is extremely low. This one has a white PCB and white silicone. This one had the indicator. Let's see if it has all the cells. 2.6, 2.7, 2.7, 2.7, 2.7, 2.7, 2.6, 2.7, 2.6, 2.6. So all the cells are okay here as well. Maybe I will check the temperature probes on these ones, and if there is some kind of fuse. That's a type of fuse. That is a type of fuse, but those look okay. And those were 5 and 6. Those were green lights indicating fully charged, even though this one is just 13 volt. Now we're into the red light district. A 2.9, and this is a 14 volt. Yeah, everything around 2.9. Yeah, 2.9. This is also good. 2.9 x5, and these are red. Oh. Three 3.6, 3.6, 3.6, 3.6, 3.6, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. So cells are excellent. And I can't make any real sense with the data yet. The first 4 batteries, which were lilac or blue, all of them had dead cell groups in the bottom, and some have dead cell groups in the top. And all of the green and red one, actually all the cells were fine in both layers. Most of them had the same value on LD, except for one. And all of them the same V, except for one. All of them were X on T, except for one. And all of them had that error message, which I don't know what it means. I haven't found anyone that had figured that out. And on this one, when the indicator isn't working, Most likely you have dead cell groups. That's my best guess. When it's flashing like this, it's fault with the electronics. And V really sounds like a temperature sensor since it's 45K on all of them except for one. Let's take number 1. If it's not too dirty, then I will take number 2. Oh, number 2. A little bit better. Yeah, this one's actually pretty clean. I will disassemble this, save the cells, and maybe some other day do a rebuild in this case. Hopefully the BMS will work then, but I don't really know. Let's see if we can push the cells out before we do anything else. It might even be glued to the holder and then it's just not worth it. Oh, yes! They were not glued in. Something 20S. See if I have my filler here. Yeah? Seems to be working. That one seems to be stuck, but that's also the place where the temperature probe is. There we go. So half of the cells removed, and this was number 2, with the bottom part were all dead. So let's verify that. They are in millivolt land. See if we can do something about the top now. There we had 3 dead on the top. Here we had some good ones. Good. Dead. Dead. Good. And dead. Yes, so our measurement was correct. 2 good, 3 dead on the top layer. Let's start removing all these silicone and try and find the screws so we can get these electronics out of here. Could be another one, maybe over here. Yes. Okay, it has an additional temp sensor. Probably for the first layer. Yeah, I feel like using a steel brush. The toothbrush isn't strong enough to scrape off the silicone, but is that a logo? EP? Yeah, my hand is starting to cramp up from all this digging. I'll see if I can find a 3-year-old with more patience than I have. But I can't find anything that looks like MOSFETs. And this is just the connection plate for the terminals. And then we have a lot of electronics on both sides. But I can't see any MOSFETs. And those are usually for turning stuff on and off. Well, I can do one last thing. I can measure the temperature probes at least. Please let me know if you know anything about these Hikoki batteries. It previously was Hitachi, and some are also calling them Metabo. So I checked the black one, around 6.3 kilo ohms. And let's do the gray one, about 6.5, 6.6 as well. So that's the value they should have. They do have some connection terminal here. The top one, PW, next one is TD. And there is a res, maybe reset, maybe N5, V5, and the last one looks like VO2. If you know of a better way to removing silicone, I heard about VD40. I tested it once, but it didn't work as well, especially with these thick layers. Let's do number 8. All the cells were okay, and the terminals are right next to the button. Here we have a non-conducting scraping plate. There we go. Here we can see even more clearly when I haven't scraped up the numbers. It says VD2 on the last one, VS on the fourth one, RE, and that should be TD. But we do have a RE function there. Since I know where it is, let's do another one with another error code, a green one. I think we can do this. But we do have RE, and then we have ground somewhere, but we do have 3.2 on PV. Let's reset those. Oh, it's flashing. It started to flash. Now it's still angry. Yeah, let's go back and do that on number 8. It would be so good if I actually got something to work with these. We do have 3-2, and it started to flash. So that is a reset function. But he's still angry, something is still wrong. Let's try it in the charger as well, just to be sure. No, just flashing red. Reset function didn't do anything. Let's try number 6 again. No, that is a green one. So the reset didn't do anything, but clearly that was the right terminals to do it since it started flashing. But there are more things wrong with these batteries than I can figure out. This was a long one.